Hey guys, welcome to my deck profile for Phantom Nightmare Premiere. I came first place today with Adventure Mikanko Sinful Spoils, which is a deck I've been cooking up for quite a while, and I've been looking forward to finally making a deck profile once I actually topped an event with it. I mean, it's not tier 2 event, it was just locals premiere, but still. As you can see, I got my Core Century U-Bell. I pulled the Goblin Rider Xyz, which I traded for it pretty much. So yeah, let's get into the profile. First, we will start with the Mikanko engine, which is what the entire deck is based around. Basically, I love Mikanko, and I wanted to build a deck around it that can basically just search it, make it as consistent as possible, and as most competitively viable as possible. So first of all, we're playing the best cards, which are 3 Ohime and 3 Mikanko Water Arabesque. Ohime basically adds any Mikanko card from your deck to your hand except herself, and then you have to discard a card. But you like discarding because we're playing Mikanko. And Arabesque is basically a board breaker. You equip it to your opponent's monster or your monster, summon a Mikanko from the deck, and then bounce the monster it's equipped to back to the hand. So Arabesque is very good at outing extra deck monsters, because instead of going to the hand, they go back to the extra deck. And also summons a Mikanko from the deck, which are our 3 monsters, which are 1 Huli and 2 Hare. You know, we got collectors because we're nice like that. So Huli, basically, while you control a Huli and an equip card, it doesn't have to be equipped to Huli. Your opponent cannot target Mikanko cards you control with card effects. This card is very, very good. It's part of our end board going first, and it can also be very good going second into some archetypes. For example, Runic and Tearlaments are 2 decks that pretty much cannot out this, because if I have Huli equipped with Arabesque like that, you can't target the Huli or the Arabesque, and you can't destroy this by battle. So pretty much you need non-targeted, non-destruction removal, which most decks cannot do with their engine. Obviously non-engine can be different. The main out to it is like Dingirsu or something, and any deck that can make Rankades. But a lot of decks can't out it, so yeah, Huli's very, very good. And honestly, she's just a reason to play this archetype in general, because she's just that strong. Hare, when she is equipped with an equip card, she searches any Mikanko equip spell. So we have the 2 other ones that I play, which are Fire Dance and Maiwashidori. So basically, if we summon Hare off of Arabesque, we then get to trigger the Hare to search one of these 2. 90% of the time we're searching this, because we can dump our Maiwashidori to the grave with our Ceremony, which 99% of the time is what we are searching off of our Ohime. And basically we're playing a synchro variant of this deck. So the synchro variant can make Herald of the Arclight, which can get Ohime, which can then get this and get access to the full engine. So we don't even have to draw any of these cards for it to be good. But obviously these 6 are very good starters and breaking boards, so that's why we play these. And these are pretty much all engine requirements. Then I also play 1 Spirit Walk, which is the trap that we search off of Huli. The reason I play this trap other than the other 2 traps is because this one doesn't require you to play any other cards. If you play Promise, you have to play Nini and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you play Promise, you have to play Nini. If you play Rivalry, you have to play different equip spell targets for it. This one is the most efficient thing, because I really have tried not to brick as much as possible. The reason why I'm playing 60 cards as well is because you don't really want to draw any of these 7. There are some situations where it can be okay, but it's not like you're wanting to draw any of these and then it's like your full combo. You basically want to minimize how much you draw the one-offs, searchable one-offs as much as possible. So that is the Mikanko engine. Next up, I'm going to show the Adventure engine. Pretty standard. So we're playing 3 War Enchantress, only 1 Court Sentry because I'm a scrub. 3 Rights, 1 Foolish, which is basically another copy of Enchantress. We're playing Wandering Griffin Rider, Fateful Adventure, and 1 Dracoback. So the theory behind playing the Adventure engine in this deck is that it's very good at breaking boards, summoning the Adventure token. Yeah, do a bit of flex on my YCS token, signed by Jessica Robinson. Let's go. So basically it's very, very good at breaking boards, and it can also set up an Omni Negate before we commit to any of our synchro plays, which get access to our Mikanko engine. So basically we can just guarantee that our Mikanko engine resolves, but the Adventure engine, along with another card that I'll show later on, Revolution Synchron, can also access the full Mikanko engine on its own. So we don't even need to draw any other cards. So yeah, it's just very good. Dracoback is very, very good going second as well. Basically, if I just go second or first and just activate right, the chance of me winning that game is so fucking high, because it just applies so much pressure. Especially against a deck like Rescue Ace, if you summon the token against them, they cannot activate either of the traps targeting the token. So if they only have one Rescue Ace monster on the field, and they don't have any other ways of getting them, you could just go battle, attack into the Hydrant, and they don't even get to use either of their traps with just the Adventure engine. So it is very, very good. Also, if you draw multiple of this, you can just special summon her as an extra extender if you control the Adventure token. And that's pretty much the Adventure engine. It's relatively simple what it does. It just sets up your Omni Negate, and that's pretty much all we need it to do. So next up we are playing, I'll show these two different engines together. So we're playing 3 Magician Souls and 1 Illusion of Chaos. Pretty much just 4 Magician Souls, but an Illusion monster which we can search with our extra deck in some combos if we have access to a tuner and a spare level 3. We're also playing 3 Diabell Star, 3 Wanted, and the 1 original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye. So the reason why we play the original Sinful Spoils in this deck, even though we're not a fire deck like most of the other decks that play the Sinful Spoils engine, is because Diabell Star, or Wanted, because obviously Wanted gets Diabell Star, is a 1-card level 8 or level 9 synchro. And in our extra deck we play basically the heart and soul of the deck, which is the level 9 synchro Paltal Braver Dragon, which is the card that gets us access to our Mikanko engine from basically any way to get a level 9 synchro. So just the fact that Diabell Star is a 1-card level 9 synchro means that this engine is actually just insane. If I open like Adventure engine plus Sinful Spoils, my hand is like actually unbeatable. It's actually insane. And the power that this deck has to break boards going second is absolutely insane. Especially because we play a lot of non-engine in the main deck as well. I barely even needed to side for the whole tournament, all 4 rounds. I only sided a few times and I only drew like one of the cards one of those times. So yeah, that's the Sinful Spoils engine. Basically this can draw cards. Cool thing about Magician Souls is that you can send Diabell Star from the deck to the graveyard for cost, and then if you can special summon any monster off of like Arabesque and then normal summon a monster, you can then make Selene if you have 3 spells in grave, and then you can get your Diabell Star engine, set original, and then original, send the Selene, summon Jet Synchron, and then Synchro with Diabell Star, Jet Synchron, make Axel, Synchro Stardust, and then make Paltal Braver, which gets you access to the full Mikanko engine, which is why this is all very good. And I'm basically grouping this with this because this just gets her in the grave, which you can then bring back with Selene. So that is it for the Sinful Spoils engine. Now I'll be showing more Miscellaneous engine cards, not part of any one particular archetype necessarily that I play a lot of, but we play 3 Revolution Synchron. So the 2 main lines that we use Revolution Synchron for is any level 7, for example Fenrir, which I'll show you later on, or Diabell Star, plus normal summon Revolution Synchron, can make Baron. You can then bring back the Revolution Synchron by milling a card as a level 1 tuner, and you basically get to do this without searching 1 time. So if your opponent's only hand trap is Droll, you can negate the Droll with Baron before you search 1 time. Because one of the biggest weaknesses to this deck is Droll and Lockbird, because a lot of our cards search and we combo for 35 minutes. So next cards, we're playing some Infernoble Knight cards, which are Renault, Turpin, and the 1 Durandal, as well as the Jet Synchron. So the reason why we play Renault is because Paltal Braver, our synchro that gets us the Mikanko engine, can equip Durandal from the deck, and then Durandal can search Renault, which gives us a free level 1 tuner, free special summon if we control a Fire Warrior. Just so happens that Hare is a Fire Warrior, and then you can synchro with Hare and Renault for our Herald of the Arclight. And Herald of the Arclight, when it's sent to the graveyard, including for a link summon, for example when we link summon IP Masquerader, you get to search a ritual monster, which can grab us either our Illusion of Chaos from the Sinful Spoils engine, well, it's not really Sinful Spoils, it's a Dark Magician card, but it's basically a Sinful Spoils card, or Ohime. So that's why Renault is really good, and it also means that Paltal Braver is absolutely insane. Turpin is a bit of a niche one, Turpin basically comes up if we have a way to make a level 5 synchro, and then we can turn that into Power Tool Braver. But most of the time we just draw Sinful Spoils engine, so we don't really need the Turpin. But it does come up in some situations. For example, if we draw only Revolution Synchron and then Rite of Aramasir, if my opponent doesn't have Droll, this gets to Baron, and then also makes Power Tool Braver after that. So you have your Power Tool Braver protected by Baron without drawing a single Mikanko card. Or a Sinful Spoils card. That doesn't even involve any Sinful Spoils cards. It's literally just Adventure and Revolution Synchron. So that's why this card's insane. The other line with this card is that if we Ritual Summon, if we use the Ceremony to cheat out Ohime, we can synchro with the Revolution Synchron in hand and the Ohime, equals level 9, which means we can make Power Tool Braver Dragon. So we can search our Mikanko engine that way. I mean, obviously we do already have the Ohime in that situation, but that means that we can search with the Arclight, we can search for the Illusion of Chaos, and it also gives us the free Durandal and the Renault if we want to end on Herald of the Arclight. Which against certain decks you do want to do, because, for example, you cannot legally summon Diabell Star by sending a monster from the hand under Herald of the Arclight, because any card sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard is banished instead, and you can't send a monster from the hand to the graveyard for cost while that is live. So those are for the Miscellaneous engine cards, and then after that is all of our non-engine. So we're playing 3 Dron and Lockbird, very good in the format, very good against Manadium, Rescue Ace Fire King, decks like that. Pretty much you just have to play it. We also play it as a cross-out target because we play cross-out in the side deck, because our deck loses to Droll very hard as well. Also playing 3 Cosmic Cyclone in the main. This card is very good against Labyrinth and Runic and any stun deck, really. It's also very good against Centurion. This is basically my non-engine that I've chosen, going second into Centurion so they can't just FTK me. Because if you don't have a way to stop the field spell, or stop them synchro summoning, they'll just make Calamity and then you literally can't play. There is one cool thing that you can do under Calamity, which I didn't do today, but I've done on Dueling Book before, is under Calamity, you can actually legally activate Maiwashidori, target Huli in the graveyard, special summon it, and then attack into the defense position Calamity for 500 damage. Which I did actually win a game on Dueling Book because of that, which is quite funny, but that's pretty much the only thing you can do under Calamity. But obviously if you're going second and you get Calamitied on your first turn, you can't really do much. But yeah, we're also playing 3 Imperm because we just wanted a hand trap that didn't play into talents, which I could also choose to use as a board breaker. For example, if I want to hit a very specific choke point in a deck, I can use this on my opponent's turn. But if I want to save it for my turn to break the board, I can also do that as well. It's also a very good 6th draw, rather than things like Ash that would have to be in your opening hand for them to pretty much do anything. We're also playing Kashtira Fenrir at 3, which is basically 3 more level 7s, which give us access to our synchro plays, because we really like having level 7 monsters, because, for example, if we normal summon Revolution Synchron, or you can even normal summon Jet Synchron, make Axel Stardust, bring this back, make Power Tool Braver. So it's a non-engine that is very good at breaking boards. Very good going first, because you just summon it, you get a free search, it can search itself, and yeah, it's used for synchro plays. Very, very good card. Obviously very good in the format as well. I don't know why this card's at 3, let's be honest. Next I'm playing 3 Lava Golem, which is the best option out of the non-activating tribute cards that don't need to normal summon. Because the thing with Sphere Mode, which we do play inside, is that it uses your normal summon, but you can only summon it once. And you also cannot target the Sphere Mode for attacks or card effects, which isn't ideal. Kaijus are also quite good. They don't use your normal summon, which is an advantage, but it only outs 1 monster, and then if they control a Kaiju, you can't Kaiju them again. You'd have to bounce it back. This just non-activating outs 2 monsters, which is insane. But the things that are also very good about this is that you can Draco back, bounce the Lava Golem back to your hand so that you can then Lava Golem again. And you can also Arabesque, bounce the opponent's Lava Golem back to the hand so that you can Lava Golem again. There have been multiple times where I have Lava Golemed my opponent 3 times in a row on the my first turn. Because you can just Lava Golem and then bounce it back, Lava Golem again, and then just, if you have the second Lava Golem, just Lava Golem again. Or you can do it 3 times with just one Lava Golem, because you can Lava Golem once, Arabesque it back, Lava Golem again, and then Dracoback it back, and then Lava Golem again. So you don't even need the second one. But yeah, that is Lava Golem, which is a very, very powerful card, especially in this deck. We're also playing 3 Talents and 1 Called By. These are basically what I play to counter Droll in game 1. Call By is also very good in the format because you can hit a Promethean Princess or you can hit a Garunex with it. Very, very good against Fire King. And Talents is always just, honestly, this card's absolutely disgusting. Honestly, this card should be limited or banned because it's actually broken. Basically, going second, if your opponent tries to play a little bit, you can look at their hand to make sure that they don't have a Troll so that you can just play for everything for free. I did that final round against a Rescue Ace Fire King player, game 1. I went to his turn and I went, yep, Talents, look at his hand. I ripped back his Impulse, which would have given him a lot more follow-up. It would have turned his traps back on. So I was just able to attack over the Hydrant and pretty much turn his traps off, which was really good. Yeah, taking the monster as well. For example, this is an example of a card that can actually out-Hooli because it's non-targeted and it takes control. But yeah, just for example, like taking control of your opponent's Diabell Star or like Baron if they've used it, and then you can use the pop. Talents is just a very, very good card, but it's mainly for going first to out if I get drolled. So that is the entire 60 card pile main deck. I'll quickly move on to the extra deck and the side deck. Don't have as much to say about this. So for the first cards in the extra deck, let me just do the Link monsters first. So we're playing 1 Access Code Talker, 1 Appaloosa, Selene because we play Diabell Star, and Magician Souls. Let's play Dark the Dark Charmer to reborn our opponent's SP Little Knight. We play SP Little Knight and we play IP Masquerader. So IP Masquerader is normally part of our end board, which then makes SP Little Knight or Appaloosa on our opponent's turn. Heater, which is also a very powerful Link monster in this format because pretty much every single deck is playing fire cards. So this just means any 2 monsters turns into a Link 3, which makes a Link 3, which then makes a Link 4. So any 2 monsters, including like your Stray Adventure token, because it doesn't need to use effect monsters, can turn into a Link 4, which can potentially non-target pop 2 cards on the field and have 5,000 attack. So Charmers are very, very good this format. I'm also playing 1 Relinquished Anima, which we can make going second to out things if our opponent misplays and plays into the Anima column, because they're done. Or we can just make this with a level 1 and then make SP so that we get our effect off of just 2 monsters going second. I didn't actually do that today. I didn't actually make Anima much. I think I made it once or twice, but it didn't really do that much. But it's still good to play. It's good to just have in the extra deck. And then for the rest of the cards in the extra deck, we're playing 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Paltal Braver Dragon, 1 Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, 1 Angelica, 1 Roland, and we're playing 2 Herald of the Arclight. So Baron, basically, we can make with our Paltal Braver, because our Diabell Star engine gets us our Jet Synchron, which when we make Paltal Braver, this is in the grave and we haven't used its effect to reborn yet, so we can send a card from our hand to the grave, summon this, then after we've used the Braver, we can make Baron. Or you can just bring the Jet Synchron back and make a Herald of the Arclight with any stray Mikanko monster that you have left over. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon basically only exists to turn 8 levels worth of levels into 9 levels worth of levels, because you just make this with a 7 and Jet Synchron, bring this back, and then you make Paltal Braver. We're also playing Angelica and Roland, which come up in some niche situations where you have a level 4 monster and a level 1 tuner, mainly the Adventure token and the Revolution Synchron that you bring back from the graveyard. So the most powerful line that the deck can do is summoning a level 7 monster, normal summoning Revolution Synchron, you then make Baron, you bring back the Revolution Synchron by milling 1, and then you activate Rite of Aramisir. You have a 4 and a 1, you then make Angelica, you go Baron, target Angelica, pop the Angelica, and then you chain the Angelica so that it gets banished until the end phase. You get to summon Roland from the extra deck, and then you send a Turpin to the graveyard. Then you still have your Adventure Equip spell in the hand, so you can equip your Adventure Equip spell to the Roland, you can summon back the Turpin, and then the Turpin and the Roland go into the Paltal Braver Dragon. which is protected by Baron de Fleur with just 2 cards, just Adventure and Revolution Synchron. So that line is very powerful. And then we're also playing 2 Herald of the Arclight because this card is absolutely disgusting. The Floodgate effect is very powerful. The fact that it's just a level 4 synchro that is an Omni Negate is good enough. It's engines, it searches us, our ritual monsters. It's actually just insane. We play 2 because sometimes we use 1 for our combo, and then we also want to end on 1 because we'll have like a Stray Mikanko, like a Huli or a Hare, and then we'll have like Jet Synchron that we haven't used to Reborn yet. So yeah, that is everything we are playing in the extra deck. And I will now quickly move on to the side deck. I didn't actually use the side deck that much, but in theory I'm very happy with everything that it is designed to do. So we are playing 3 Triple Tactics Thrust. Then for our 1 target going first, we have Dimensional Barrier. But in main deck we do also play Spirit Walk, which is the Mikanko trap, and we do also play Infinite Impermanence. So we do technically have 3 different targets for Thrust. D-Barrier is basically against like something like Pearly or Centurion. You can just call 1 and yep, there you skip the game. Next, for our going second cards with Thrust, we're playing 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 1 Soul Release, 1 Sinful Spoils of Subversion Snake Eye, and 1 Herald of the Abyss. So Sinful Spoils of Subversion Snake Eye is also not just a Thrust target, because you can actually set this off of Dear Bellstar, and then put any monster your opponent controls into the spell and trap zone. You can also do your own monsters, but I don't know why you do that. Maybe in some other decks you could do that. Duster is very good against back row decks. Soul Release, very good against Fire King mainly. Just targeting 5 cards in the graveyard, getting rid of them. Nice Kirin, nice Promethean Princess, nice Verunix, see you later. And then Herald of the Abyss, mainly for Pearly, but it actually came up against Altergeist today because I sent his link to, and then when he tried to bring it back and use the negate, he couldn't, because this stops you activating monsters with that name's effects for the rest of the turn, which is very good. So those are our Thrust targets and things like that. Also playing the 1 Mikanko Kagura, which is the only Mikanko card that I play that is not in main deck. The reason why I play Kagura is because it's basically a ritual spell. So ritual spells are generally not good, but this one has quite a lot of upsides. You can non-target pop cards on the field, or cards your opponent controls, up to the number of equipped spells with different names in your graveyard. So if you have a hand that can facilitate getting a lot of different equipped spells in the graveyard, for example, if you make a Paltal Braver going second, you can send all the equipped spells to the graveyard. You can then ritual summon your Ohime. You can even tribute the Paltal Braver, to be honest. So you can go Ohime, tribute Paltal Braver, send the 3 equipped spells. You summon Ohime, and then in the same chain, before your opponent gets a chance to respond, it non-target pops 3 cards on the field, which can be very good against stun decks out in Floodgates, very good against Runic, very good against Labyrinth, because it doesn't actually commit anything to the board, but it does threaten destroying cards. So for example, if you have 3 equipped spells engraved and your opponent had like 2 background Labyrinth and you activated this, they would either just lose them on the spot because they didn't read it, or they would just have to chain everything immediately, and then you can just pop whatever they summon. So yeah, very, very good. We're also playing 3 Crossout Designator, mainly because we want to negate Infinite Impermanence and Drawn Lockbird. Mainly Drawn Lockbird, but we do also run Infinite Impermanence, which can be very good. Sinful Spoils engine is also very played at the moment, so in theory if you go first and you draw this, you can just set it and then like cross out a Wanted or a Dear Bellstar, in theory. I haven't actually done that yet, but in theory that could happen, especially with basically like a tier 0 Dear Bellstar format we're playing at the moment. And then the final card in the side deck is our 3 Winged Dragon of Ralseer mode. Basically just outing massive boards like decks like Vanadium would make. If a mirror match of this deck would ever happen, that would be very good. But yeah, that is the deck. Very, very happy. I don't think I would change anything. The only thing that is more niche in this deck is the situation that comes up with the Angelica and the Roland. But I think just having that option, because that Revolution Synchron line is so powerful, it is worth playing. Yeah, I've played this deck on Dueling Book quite a bit, and I really enjoy playing it. I've been playing Mikanko since it won the YCS with the Isolde list, and I basically just tried to cook up a deck list that didn't use Isolde, that still used Mikanko to its highest effectiveness, which I believe I have found, because I haven't seen any other Mikanko deck lists that do as much as this, really. So yeah, thank you very much for watching my deck profile. I'll see you guys later.